want you to glean the corn in my field. You don't have to go anywhere else. And then verse 9 says, let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they should not touch thee? And when thou art athirst, go unto the vessels and drink of that which the young men have drawn. So in other words, I've already told all the men that work in this field, don't bother you, don't touch you, don't harass you. You're going to stay right here, and I put the word out that they are not to bother you. And when you get thirsty, you go right over there and you drink, and ain't nobody going to say nothing to you. Now tell me if that's not the favor of God. And then on verse 10 it says, then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger? So not only did God give her favor, but she recognized the favor of God, and she had a heart of gratitude. She extended her thanks to this man that has shown her favor. Then she went back to Ruth with all the food that she had gathered from the field, and Ruth said, well, Naomi said, where did you get all of this food from? You coming home with all of this? Where'd you get this? And she said, well, I met a man that told me that I can just glean in his field. He was so kind and sweet to me. He told me I can drink water when I get thirsty, and he told me not to go in anybody's field but his. And Naomi said, well, what is this man's name? And she said, well, his name is Boaz. His name is Boaz. That's what the pastor said. His name is Boaz. And Naomi said, Boaz, wait a minute. That is my husband's relative. And back in those days, if you had a relative that died, for instance, if you were brothers or cousins with a man, you are two men, and you have a brother that died or a cousin that died, you have an opportunity to buy all of that man's land, and then if you buy his land, you also have to buy his wife so that you can carry on his name. So right here is an opportunity for Ruth to marry someone, because Naomi has told her that Boaz is her husband's kin man. They were relatives. So Naomi, being a wise woman, okay, we need to understand that not every woman that has the years also has the wisdom, okay? There are a lot of women that don't have the wisdom that they should have to go with the years that they have. But when you can have a woman of wisdom to guide and lead you and tell you what to do, you are blessed indeed. I've met some young people that have more wisdom than older people, but it takes the spirit of discernment to know a woman that has wisdom, and then you cleave yourself to her. So now it's starting the process. I want you to remember that today's topic is understanding purpose, process, and promise. Now the purpose part came when all hell broke loose. The husband died, the sons died, and their lives were turned upside down. They didn't understand the purpose.